What's up everybody, Laz here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 rules of the rich. So these are things that the rich do, in order to stay rich pretty much. And the way that I kind of fell upon thinking about making a video like this, I was actually looking for, what do the rich do to make more money? What do they do? Like, what are their thought processes? All this stuff. The way that I thought about it, I was like, well, with my experiences, I can actually think about 5 rules myself that I think are very important, to develop wealth, to start businesses, to be successful. So I kind of put this little list together for you. It's going to be a short video, but I think that these things are super powerful. So without us going any further ahead, make sure you guys smash the like button. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. And I really want to be able to help as many people out there as possible. So if you guys have any questions at all, make sure to comment as well. Let's get started. So rule number 1 of the rules of the rich is to always invest in yourself first. So this should go kind of without saying, but whatever you learn and whatever skills you pick up, no one can take that away from you. So always invest in yourself first, whether it is through skills, building relationships, all that good stuff. And these have just been things that throughout my life that I've been able, to invest in myself and then been able to grow. So in my e-commerce business, I took courses. I learned what the guys all the way at the top were doing, and I followed that and I modeled that, and that's how I got to where I am today. So these are just things that you can implement right now into your life and basically be able to level up to the next level. Another tidbit of information about investing in yourself first. So a little story behind my experience, and whenever I go to conferences or anything like that, that's when I come back the most motivated. I build new relationships. So masterminding with people is crazy. So whenever I come back from a conference, all I know is that in the next coming months, I'm hitting numbers that I never thought was possible. And it's because you surround yourself with circles of, of individuals who are just at higher levels. And there's a lot of power in that. So guys, rule number 1, I think this is one of the most important ones, but now let's go to rule number 2. So rule number 2 is diversification. And you've all heard the cliche saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Basically, the idea behind this rule is to have, build several streams of income. And if you guys don't know, the average millionaire actually has 7 streams of income. So when you guys think about that, that is really important in order to build wealth. When I first started my online e-commerce business, I was just focused on one traffic source. And this is kind of where I was exposed to the thing that is diversification. When I first started, I was only running Facebook ads. I was running no other ads. So my traffic source was not diversified at all, okay? I had to put all my eggs into the Facebook ads basket, and boy, all my eggs broke. I had to find other traffic sources. I had to diversify my traffic sources. So I learned the Google ads. I was also using Facebook ads, Google ads, and I was just able to diversify my income. Now you guys can see the power in that diversification, not putting all your eggs in one basket. That's a major key. Okay guys, so rule number 3, and this is a really important one because taking action and being able to implement things is super important in anything that you do. Ideas alone won't cut it, okay? So you have to be able to implement things and put things into work so that you can make things happen. A great analogy for this is whenever I'm thinking about a product, whether it's good or not, I always have, a little intuition like, oh, I think this product is good. I think it might be bad. It might be a flop. But the reality is that at the end of the day, until you test that product, until you take that leap, until you have some money, some skin in the game, you really won't know whether or not it's a good business move. So these are things that you just have to take action, take the next step, take massive and perfect action. That's what I always tell all of my students. You need to become an action taker because at the end of the day, execution is all that matters. Rule number 4 is basically to cut out the negatives. So whether it's people holding you back, products that are doing bad, literally anything in your business that's creating a negative effect on you, literally cut it out. So I've seen this with products. People get tied to testing products that are bad. And that's something you can just cut off right off the bat. People that basically, I call them dream crushers, because every time you tell them what you're up to, you're like, oh wow, like that sounds really risky. That sounds like, you're not gonna get anywhere. Sounds like a lot of work. Sounds, like what happens if this, X and that. Those people, a lot of the times it's people nearest to you. You just have to kind of push them away at least like on your business side, don't take business advice from people who have never done business before. So that's something that's super important. I can honestly say that once I started taking away negatives in my life, I exponentially began to get better and better and better, just getting rid of all these negative things, all the things that are counterproductive to your success. These are things that the rich do on a daily, monthly, yearly basis. They're always trying to get rid of all the negatives, and it's something that you have to implement right away if you want to grow in life. All right, so the last and final rule, number 5. So this is one that I really wanted to talk about a little bit here, because you know how everyone's always saying, love what you do. If you're passionate about your work, you'll never work a day in your life. That's very true. Now, I do agree with that. But that one comes with a caveat, okay? So love what you do, but be adaptive. So at the end of the day, you always want to keep your true interests at heart, but you have to be adaptive with the times. Like whenever something's changing, when there's a disruption in the market, you have to be able to take advantage of the situation and apply things. You remember that story that I spoke about earlier on diversification and how I had all my eggs in the Facebook basket, and then one day Facebook shut me down and my whole business came crumbling down to a halt? That's exactly what I'm saying. You have to be adaptive with the times. You can't just, sit back and like, oh, I'm comfortable now, because that's when, the real hurt is coming. You always have to be looking 3 steps ahead. You have to see where the future is going and always be able to adapt to different situations. To be honest, guys, that's just the world that we live in today. There's a lot of changes happening all the time, and we just have to be on top of the ball when it comes to this. Or you don't want to end up like stores like Toys R Us and Sears, and they're all going out of business now just because they didn't pay attention to the online model, which is, right now where it's at with Amazon, all the big businesses selling online. All right, guys, so that about sums it up. We talked about the 5 rules of the rich. Again, guys, we'll go over them again. So number 1 is invest in yourself first. The number 2 is diversification. Number 3 is to take action, because if you don't take action, let's be honest, nothing's gonna happen. Number 4 is to cut off all the negatives in your life. And number 5, last but not least, is to be adaptive, okay? So guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We want to put out more content like this. Let me know what you guys think about videos like this. I really want to help you guys out in the best way that I can. And yeah, that's about it, guys. So if you guys aren't already doing so, make sure you check us out on the podcast. We have a podcast that's also here on YouTube. Check us out there. Check us out on Instagram. We're always posting on there as well. Whatever it is that you got to do, send us a DM. We want to help you guys grow. So that's about it. And that's all for this one. Goodbye.